And here we are. Let me make some adjustments here. By the way, as you notice from the thing, I am wearing my green. Hey, Steve. Mike, Fly Zone Drones. Lee, Yellow Rose Drones. One Vision Aerial. I need to write down your name. Jim Beauchart. I know that dude. Jay Bird. See, I know Chris Wedgeworth was in here earlier. And I think Chris's video is going to be the first one I show up or show after I get rolling here. One of the things, though, that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, no, I have a body. It's an Irish body. It's green, Mike. Come on. I mean, it's a green screen. This is green shirt. Ooh, watch. Green. Hey, I like this. Makes my nose look a lot smaller. Yeah. Should have worn a green hat. That'd have been it. But no, I mean, I wanted to talk about videos today in general. I've been doing this for 5 years on YouTube, and I enjoy doing what I do, making the videos. I enjoy editing. Sometimes it gets a little overwhelming, especially when I go out and shoot something every day for 2 or 3 weeks straight, and then go, okay, where do I start? And one of the things that I'll do is watch YouTube and watch some of the people who I know make good videos. I highlighted a few of them in that intro reel. The things that you learn from people are not just like, okay, where you learn where they're from and what the things that they can see, but how they see them. Every one of those shots, you've got reveal shots. You've got shots that supposedly some people will say they don't make that good of a video. And the one that comes to mind in that intro was Angela Anderson's video. She was a good 400 feet in the air. She was out in far west Texas in the Big Bend area, and she showed what you can do with high heights and still get incredible footage. Somebody says you got to be going real fast when you're that high over such an open area. I don't think so. I mean, it just looked really good. There he is, my co-producer.
Mr. Brian, happy St. Patty's Day.
Let me, my volume is low here. By the way, I guess everybody can hear me okay?
Yeah, audio's good.
So yeah, I just decided, instead of me talking everybody's ears off like I do for 2 hours, we'll just play some videos today. And if you read the description in down in the thing down there, for clicking onto this live stream, I kind of like to rate them. I don't want to beat anybody over the head about what they're showing or how they edit. Everybody, I mean, we can go back to my earliest ones and I laugh myself silly looking at those. Oh, gee, can you turn that phone any faster? But that's, honestly, though, it's one of the things that I got told early on is do not, if you're going to move your drone laterally from one scene to another, either do it very slowly or cut the whole thing out at all and just flip to the scene once you get it in frame in editing in post. Mm-hmm. So, and it's just a lot of things that you learn over time. One of the things that I noticed, I think it was in Carolina Airshots video, he did an awesome reveal over the water. And I don't know I always wonder whenever I see those shots, where are these guys standing? Are they on the other side of the hill or are they on, which side of the hill are they on? And it just boggles my mind sometimes because I don't have hills. I have big metal buildings that give off a lot of RF.
Or flat fields.
Yeah. It's just things like that have always kind of intrigued me about how people shoot. because everybody is from somewhere else. I tried to highlight some of the stuff from Ireland, and I put this video together in maybe 2 hours or less, and I'm sending out requests to Sean and Angie and Joe and a bunch of other people to use just clips of their video, and I just said, well, I'll just have to delete it out if they have a problem with it later. But usually most people don't. They like having the stuff shown. So I don't know. I just want to do play some videos today, and drink. Oh.
Well, you know what? I was gonna try. The reason I'm a little later coming on, I tried to board a jet to go to Tomas to celebrate, and they wouldn't let me on. I don't know why.
Because you already opened it. If you opened it on the plane, it would have been cool.
No, even when they do. Coming back, I had that same problem when we came back from Ireland. I bought it at the duty-free store. I bought 2 bottles. So we're coming international, having to land in Boston and then come from there to come to Los Angeles. You would not believe how much problems there was of doing that. And that was back in 2016. It's like, don't even attempt it. I said, it's a sealed bag. I got it from the custom stamps on it. Oh no, we have to go through an individual x-ray, open up every bottle and take them in and do an x-ray of every bottle.
Good gravy. It's alcohol. I mean, unless you're going to a Muslim country, there should not be an issue.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I did want to address one of the things though, because on that intro video, like I said, I only had I said, I knew what I was going to do with this thing today. And I said, I really need to make a good intro video. And I don't want to use my stuff. I usually do use it. I want to use other people's, and I want to use good stuff. And I always know who puts out good stuff for the most part. The trouble is everybody really does. Some people will say that, I don't have that much on my channel, but I guarantee if you got 10 videos, you got at least 1 or 2 that are definitely worth a look. And Chris Redworth, hey, bud, he's got one. Hey, Charlie.
Charlie, hello.
I like good stuff, too. Yeah, I do, too, Charlie. Let me see, because I don't want to lose this one. It's way back up. Yeah, here it is. Shasta Lake, because Chris was in here before I started, and he put a link to one of his videos up. And I'm going to roll that one first. As soon as I figure out how to work this stuff again. Let's see. It's just I wonder if I should go full screen on these things. Oops. That's another thing too. I said, well, because I've got 12 tabs, 10 tabs open right now. And all the people that I highlighted, and I said, well, I could hit each one if I want to talk about them, but I really don't. But let me see. I need to see how I can do this. I want to give it its due, you might say. Oh, here we go. Mm-hmm. And I don't like doing it with all the other clutter on the side, like whenever you show a window. Here we go. There we go. So here we go. Let me roll. This is Chris Wedgeworth out of Shasta Lake, which you ought to be familiar with that.
Yes, been there, done that for a couple of weeks.
It's a beautiful place. I love the desert. My wife doesn't.
It's not the desert. That's Shasta's Northern California.
Well, to me, it looks, because I don't see a lot of green, that's kind of desert-ish.
Well, that is showing it there. You should see it now because of the rise in the reservoir levels.
Hey, Kira Show.
Warren, hello. How are you?
All right, Charlie. Sounds good, bud. Yeah, I know daylight savings time is a big deal back east. And I said I was going to keep these limited to 3 minutes or under, but this one's less than 2 minutes anyway. So like I said, it's basic shots you should always try to get. POI shots, reveal shots, tracking shots, like drone views, media, was tracking a boat out on the water, and that's always a good thing to do. You know, something that keeps your eye focused on whatever it is you're trying to shoot in the video.
Yeah, especially movement.
Yes, anything that moves. Well, I don't want to say anything because that could get weird.
Yeah, that's what you're seeing now is the lake level way down due to the drought.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering because
Yeah.
this was I think it might have been taken a ways back because I mean y'all have been getting some serious rains, and there was a drone video in the paper today about how much higher the water levels are.
I know Lake Oroville over here, it rose on the last storm we had 4.5 feet, and
Wow.
just due to that one storm.
Wow.
And I know Shasta received like almost 1.5 feet, and Shasta's our largest reservoir in the state. And you're talking about that massive amount, and that's a lot of water.
Okay. So like I said in the description of the thing, I wanted to kind of rate these videos between like a 5-star, between 1 and 5, you know.
Mhm.
So what did y'all, excluding Chris, because he's still in the chat, Wedgeworth.
Yeah, he said 6 months ago he shot that.
How many stars would y'all give that? I myself would easily give it 4 and a half if I could.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know if you can use the asterisk for star. If you're on your phone and you don't have access to it, just put, hell, I don't know. What's going on here? Uh-oh. Oh, this did this last time, man. My shit's screwing up still. My YouTube live, I'm looking at, you know, we're over here, me and you, Steve. But over there, I'm looking at the 20-second delay.
Oh, yeah. It's at least that.
Back like a minute or two, and I'm just going, what the hell is going on? Okay, Steve is at a 4.5. Yeah, that's where I was going to go with that. So I don't know. Yeah, that's a good way to put it in, 4.5. Mm-hmm. I was going to say plus signs or exclamation points for however many, 4 for sure. Yeah, Mike. Like I said, it is definitely and that's another thing too. What makes a good video? Scenery. Mm-hmm. What about, you know, I've seen plenty of good videos. Oh, I'm trying to think of the names. They live out in the middle of nowhere, and there's really nothing to see. The land is featureless, no mountains, no streams, no trees. But something about it, if you do it right, you know, like maybe you add some sort of a wind effect in the music, you can really make it more than it is. But oh, yeah,
yeah.
Friendly.
There are a lot of them around there.
That would wake me up. Yeah, color grading. Yeah, there you go, Mike. Color grading, and it depends too. I mean, what I've learned, especially using Filmora, you got to be real careful with Filmora. Next thing you know, you just made a cartoon instead of a video. So with color grading on Filmora, I've learned mostly, if I'm going to do it at all, just to play with the lighting. Either lighten it, darken it. Don't touch the saturation. Be very sparingly with the vibrance, and it'll come out pretty good most of the time. And I've already been bugging Filmora to bring their game up to at least DaVinci when it comes to color grading, because that's really the only thing that, if I had a gripe against Filmora, their color grading really sucks. Unless you want to make a cartoon. Yeah, it's just fun. But I know Lee and Yellow Rose Drones put up a link.
Yeah, so I'll link that.
There it is. I mean, new tab this one. Make sure we got no naked women in this first.
You never know with Lee.
Yeah, this is nice. Oh, this is this past weekend. Okay. Let me start it from the beginning. I like the intro. And remember, we're gently grading people. They have made getting to a share screen on this thing a pain in the butt. And this is Lee at Yellow Rose Drones. And the link to this video is in the chat. Man, I could cut some kite strings there.
Boy, that's a way delay.
I was going to say it was a kite festival, and I like kites.
Mm-hmm.
But you got a real good reason to get me out there just to watch a kite. Food trucks help. Definitely food trucks.
Well, don't they have a lot of that down over there, down your neck of the woods, down there on the beach in Galveston?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, in Galveston, you just walk right off the seawall and there's every restaurant you can imagine.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish that, and that's nice. But with restaurants, there's sitting, tipping, and you have to be, if your crotch has sand in it, it's not going to be comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
It would be nice to have some street vendors, and they really don't have those.
That's gotten real popular around here where they'll have pop-up food trucks, and they'll just pop up in the middle of no man's land. In fact, the apartment complex over next to the building project I'm on, they'll go over there like every other week. They'll specialty food trucks show up there.
I don't believe it. You are not going to believe who's in the green room.
Oh,
I mean,
I'm just looking at what he's saying right there with the aircraft landing. That blew me away.
Let me take this one down. Thanks, Lee. I appreciate that, bud. But let me bring this gentleman in. Oh my!
This is the first invite that I've gotten in a year and a half, man. I couldn't pass it up.
Mitch, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm good. How you doing, Steve? Brian, how you guys?
Doing well. Wonderful to see you.
Well, thank you. It's good to see you too. Good to see you too.
No, man, I've been out of it myself for like 3 or 4 months because of internet trouble here.
Oh, well, I haven't actually done anything in over a year. I mean, I go out and fly a little bit here and there, but as far as any YouTube stuff or anything like that, I've been kind of laying low. So I thought when I saw your email that, like I said, it's the first actual invite to a live stream I've gotten. Nobody sends the links anymore to me. I don't know why, but
if I do send them, I'm lucky I send the right one.
Anyway, I said, well, let me log on there, let all my old friends know that I'm, the rumors of my demise are greatly exaggerated.
Well, I'm really honored and impressed, Mitch, that you did, because there, honestly, I know, you've sort of gotten out of it, Jim, of course, and a few others. And there's really in just a year, there's like a whole nother crowd, you might say, that does these live streams. And, there's Tammy Jean and quite a few others. And it's interesting, but it's nice to see the faces that I've always hung out with and started with. And let me see.
I don't know.
I know Akira Show has always been here. Chris is fairly new. Chris was around when we were doing all this.
Yeah, and I see drones like Charlie still. I saw Charlie in there.
Yeah, Charlie said he's going to go out and fly a few packs because he's got a little bit of extra daylight.
Charlie
Mitch,
you know,
You're
kind of
the
knew
perfect
what
man,
I
man,
was.
because I got a question for you. By the way,
Here we go.
Mitch, no, I'm not going to pick your brain real hard.
That's
Mitch
okay.
is Dr. FPV. I don't care who you want to talk to, even Kai. Well, okay, Kai's in a different realm. One thing is the air is lighter up there. But I don't know who would be smarter, either Kai or Dr. Mitch when it comes to FPV. He got me off the ground with my first Tiny Hawk, and I've beaten that thing to death. I'm already on my third one. But I went DJI FPV because I wanted the cinematic, not analog view. And I'm just wondering what you think of that and maybe the Avata. I don't know. You've probably seen some of the video from it. What do you think?
I have, Brian, but you know, they used to nickname me the professor, and I knew a little bit. I was never anywhere at the level of, say, Bardwell or any of those guys.
No, I understand that, but when it comes to
I knew,
the mechanics
I knew
of it,
enough to build them and fly them and program them and everything. And since I haven't really fooled with them very much in the last year and a half, pretty much everything that I knew is now so far obsolete as to be almost useless.
Yep.
And until you get out of something and then take a look back into it after a little while, and you notice that you don't recognize any of the shit they're talking about. All the new drones, all the new digital transmission technologies for the goggles, HD0 and all that. So I have no idea how any of that stuff works. I mean, I still have my first generation DJI FPV goggles and a bunch of cameras, and they still work, and I'm just not ever going to upgrade the software, because it just works. As long as it keeps working, I'm happy.
Exactly.
I still have a couple of Mavic 2s. I have a Mavic 2 Pro and a Mavic 2 Zoom, which I refuse to upgrade the software, and with an old Crystal Sky monitor, and that stuff still works. So I try to keep it all offline and keep it all off the internet when I'm connected and flying it. And I'm almost afraid to change anything. There's been so many changes these days.
There has. For one thing, I've heard it's more than a rumor that within a year, DJI is going to take the older drones off their grid system, whatever, and you will not be able to fly them because of remote ID. If you want to fly them, you're going to have to use a third-party app like Litchi. Or
I'm afraid that that's all coming. And I was for 3-4 years, I was like drones were my life. Remember, I was doing couple live streams a week, flying every day, doing all that stuff. But then after I hurt my head, had that surgery that I had. Remember that was kind of when my priorities and focus shifted a little bit.
Yep.
And things started to bother me that I usually glossed over. And the things that bothered me were as far as YouTube goes, just the constant OMG, that's me.
I'll be right back.
Hi, Steve.
Okay, Steve. Yeah. And what bothered me was the politics that were creeping into this sport and hobby that I loved, along with model aviation and RC airplanes too. The politics from all levels. You had the politics of the FAA and the government trying to make everything you do illegal. And then you had the politics of social media and YouTube and people getting into different camps and fighting each other. And then we had the politics of the great proposed drone meetup of a couple of years ago, where I had there was me and Jim, and then there was
everybody else.
Everybody else and I just said, this is, life's too short, and this is just not important enough to get my stress levels up.
And you have definitely got that right. I'll tell you what, I still do the YouTube thing, but I don't kill myself over it. I just, I refuse to. But the other good thing about it is here in Houston, I've fallen in with a bunch of other drone flyers, and none of them have anything to do with YouTube. They just go out and fly.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
now and again, you might get one or two of them to put a video up on YouTube. They don't promote it. They're just doing it for themselves. And, it's such a kind of a refreshing thing not to have to play to an audience just to get subs or views or whatever. There's that too. Yeah. It's a pain in the butt.
Yeah,
Or a lot of
it is.
nothing.
I don't ever regret having done it. Here's Mitch. I saw Gary in here too. Hey Gary, how you doing? I'm on my notebook here, so I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat.
I was wondering what that helicopter is behind you.
Oh, that thing is one of my models. I got that I have in my office, big old electric scale helicopter.
Got that
And,
right.
My house looks like a model hangar between all the drones I got hanging on the wall and all the airplanes and helicopters and jets and things like that. But I don't know. I just haven't had the, and we all get that way. It's like been there, done that kind of a thing, and you kind of get a little bored with it. I do miss the community. I've talked to Carlos a couple of times, but we've kind of lost
Carlos. Yeah, that's who I couldn't remember.
Yeah. And and then as life goes, your interests go off in slightly different directions. And my interest has been more, I've always been focused on diet and trying to be healthy, and my interests have gone way off in that direction now. So I'm even thinking about converting my drone YouTube channel to a keto carnivore channel, and I wonder how that would go over with all my subscribers.
Do it. Well, I mean, why? It couldn't possibly hurt. I mean,
Well,
you'd probably do better off that way.
Well, I know I do better. I mean, I look at some of these carnivore. You know what carnivore is? Carnivore is when you only eat meat, nothing else. Well, that's what I've been doing for the past year. I haven't had a vegetable in a year. I haven't had sugar in a year. I haven't had a carb in a year. I haven't had anything except animal type, steaks and fish and chicken and maybe some dairy and stuff like that.
Good protein.
No. High fat is the concept. The concept.
Well, you're still gonna load up in anything too.
Yeah, you eat a lot of protein, but you have to get like 70% of your calories from fat and the other 25 to 30 from protein. You don't want to overdo it on protein. But all I can tell you is that for me, and if I've watched one YouTube video, I've watched 10,000 of them about this subject. As usual, 90% of them are bullshit. But in the other 10%, you can, it's somebody trying to sell you this supplement or that supplement or this program. But in the other 10%, you find a couple of guys, of creators, doctors that have it right. And I've learned a tremendous amount about that. I went from 180 down to 142 pounds.
I was going to say, you look like you lost a little bit of weight there, bud.
I lost a lot of weight, and
I gamed it for you.
Oh, good. Not only did I lose weight, but my blood pressure, which I was on 2 blood pressure meds, that is completely normal now. I'm off of those meds.
That's awesome.
Everything I had wrong with me, from kidney stones to a little bit of arthritis and pains and all that stuff, just miraculous. I wouldn't say miraculously, but over the course of a year, it all went away. And in a month, I'll be 76 years old now. Remember, I was the old guy.
I was just about to ask if you didn't mind.
When I was 72, I was the old guy. Where does that leave me now? But at 76 years old, it's friggin' amazing. And it ain't easy to do in this world, because our entire world revolves completely around eating and drinking shit that's poisoning us.
Yes.
And half the economy in this country and all of the medical community earns all its money poisoning us and then giving us drugs to try to
fix the poison.
All the crap that happens to us from the fact that they're selling us all this poison. And round and round it goes. And yet, when you talk to somebody, including a doctor, they think I'm crazy. I say, well, how do you explain the fact that all this shit that was wrong with me went away. I've lost all this weight. I'm never hungry. I don't have any cravings anymore. Oh, no, Gary wants me to come to the other guy's drone meetup. I love it.
I know why Gary's saying that. He's coming
Yeah.
all the way from Canada.
He's going to be there.
I'll probably go. I might go. What the hell? I mean, I don't
You
know.
ought to, man. Just say hi.
Yeah,
I get more than half the people there know you and everything.
At any rate,
Even
I
if
don't
you
want to bore
fly.
you with all this. I don't want to bore you with all this diet shit, but I know that for every drone channel, like say Ken Herron, who's one of the biggest, okay, that has 100,000+ followers in the diet, in the ketogenic and carnivore diet YouTube community, the large guys have 5 to 10 million followers. And even the small channels, just average guy that says, I lost 200 pounds in the last year and here's how I did it. Those videos get hundreds of thousands of views. Where, if I ever got up to 1,000 on most of my videos, I said, wow, what a popular video. So there's definitely a much, much larger audience. Along with that come the trolls, which is something that really bothered me about YouTube. And what happens in the keto carnivore community is you've got a bunch of people who are telling you to do exactly the opposite of what every doctor, every government agency, every vegetarian and vegan is telling you to do. And they say that meat and saturated fat will kill you. You need to eat more raw vegetables. Okay. So the vegans in this country, and Steve, these people from California. I mean, they are a cult.
You don't have to tell me about that.
They are a friggin' cult. They see you eating a hot dog in public. They want to kill you. They want to come up and kill you. They want to take that hot dog of yours and stick it in the other opening in your and they constantly attack the YouTube channels of the guys that the big guys that are there, the carnivore and
but that's not that's not even so much that, Mitch. What it is I attribute it to everybody should watch it. Netflix. There's a movie called Social Dilemma. Watch it. If you haven't, watch it. And it tells you how they're 10, 15 minutes of fame on video, or how everybody wants to attack everybody.
Oh, there's no doubt about it, Steve. We are just becoming more. I mean, we're playing into exactly what they're trying to do. I mean, it used to be activism had a little different meaning. If you were an activist, you had a cause, and you marched around with a sign every once in a while, and you lobbied some people and tried to get people to go along with you. Now, activism has an arm of terrorism associated with it. Do what I want you to do, or I'm going to ruin your life, cancel you, cost you your job, and if you're not lucky, we might kill you and your whole family. That's what activism has become.
The only thing that gets me about what I call modern diet, stuff since the 70s and 80s, can anyone explain to me why the instance of autism in children has gone through the roof since those times? There has got to be a reason.
I can explain
doctors and scientists.
I can explain it exactly. It's for the same reason that diabetes is an epidemic of gargantuan proportions, the same reason that obesity is out of control, same reason that mental illness, especially dementia and Alzheimer's, is
That's
going
another
through.
one, yeah. Alzheimer's.
And it has to do with three basic tenets. And this is why I think it would be fun to have a YouTube channel and discuss this kind of stuff, because it's mostly just common sense. And common sense is something that has completely gone out of the dialogue in this country right now.
Yeah.
I watch the news and it's absolutely nuts. I find more reality in these YouTube videos that show police arresting drunk people. That's more entertaining to watch than trying to watch the news these days. At any rate, there's three basic things that they've got humans doing that we never evolved to do. And it all has to do with diet. And there's an explanation of how it all happened and why it all happened and why it persisted. And then you know that anything that's goes on. What did I miss?
Common sense in 2023. Right.
Yeah.
That goes back to even 3 years ago.
Yeah. So I'll tell you real quick what they are, the three things. Okay. Number one is the evolutionary side of why how our physiology developed. Okay. The human animal, the human Homo erectus, Homo ergaster, all the before Homo sapien, which we are, that goes back 3.5 million years to the time where the first animal very similar to us came along, and they were meat eaters. They were always meat eaters. They evolved to be meat eaters. The geology and what happened in Africa that forced them into the deserts. They didn't have vegetation. They never ate plants anyway. Their ancestors did 6-7 million years ago. But we are meat eaters. We are carnivores, and all the science that we have today points to that. Just like most of our mammals that came up in the same chain that we are. You tell somebody that a dog is a carnivore and a dog should be eating meat, they agree with you. If you tell them a cat,
don't get me started on that. Can someone explain to me why dog food comes with peas and carrots and cabbage now?
For the same reason human food does. Okay. And that's the problem. The problem is it's much more highly profitable to grow something and put it in people's food than it is to raise something like an animal, kill it and process it. But everybody who's into animal feed and the science of animal feed never debates the fact that the animal, the biology of the animal, the physiology of the animal is supposed to get fed these particular nutrients. And a cat, for example. Now, dogs today, people's pets are dying in 7-8 years from cancer.
Yes.
Because they're not eating meat. You
Yep.
feed the same dogs meat and they become healthy. They get a great coat. Their teeth are good. Their breath gets better. They live twice as long. And nobody ever says that meat is bad for a dog. And yet, when you look at humans, whose physiology is very similar, okay, and came up through the same line of evolution as so many of these animals did, especially the predators, they say red meat causes cancer, red meat. And there's no basis for any of these things except some phony studies that have been put out by people who are trying to sell you sugar and trying to sell you drugs. Okay, so it's just like everything else in this world. It's corrupt as hell. Everybody's bought off and paid for. All the expert opinions are manipulated and paid for. Statistics are manipulated everywhere you turn. And nobody's getting the real message. But after this message sits for 30, 40, 50, 60 years, that animal food is bad for you, it flies in the face of all common sense. And common sense, how could something that our species evolved on for 3.5 million years all of a sudden within the last 50 years become bad for us?
Right.
It takes tens of thousands of years for even small changes in genetics to happen. You can adapt a little bit. We have adapted to some of these plant foods. We have adapted to some dairy.
I like that, Brian. Yes, you must be dressed.
So here's that's the first aspect of it. The first aspect is that we've completely ignored any of the real science, especially the anthropology and the paleoanthropology that has actually proven beyond a shadow of a doubt, because they've examined bones that were 300,000 years ago. The more they get you sick, the more they can. Oh, absolutely. That's the simplest thing that most people can understand. But their doctors are giving them advice that's killing people. Their doctors are the American government and the food pyramid that says eat grains and eat fruits and vegetables and eat only lean meat and don't eat animal fat is a diet that is exactly the prescription to kill you. Okay, so the first thing is you gotta people, in order to accept this and go against the conventional wisdom, which is what it is, like everything else, and say that I don't care if my doctor says this, I don't care if my cholesterol's through the roof, I don't care, none of that shit means anything. I believe, because I've learned that I've done the research and I've seen that, and I have some common sense, that this is reality. The second thing is,
let's not jump to conclusions about common sense here yet, Mitch.
Come on.
You've been away for too long.
Yeah. I've been away, but I've been busy. So the second thing is that since we're supposed to be eating animal products, where did all this sugar and shit come from? And when did we actually start to eat plants? And so it's sugar and carbohydrates are the second big misunderstanding. And that's why we're all diabetics. Everybody eats too much sugar. And the one thing most people miss about sugar is it's as highly addictive as cocaine and heroin. So all these poor people who are running around, they're obese, they're either pre-diabetic or diabetic. Their doctor tells them that the answer is to eat less and move more. It's like telling an alcoholic, well, just drink less and move more. Right. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Or telling a drug addict, well, just use fewer drugs. Okay. If I knew it was that simple, I would have done it yesterday. It's an addiction, and we have no conscious control over addictions. We may think we do, but we don't. And I'm a carb addict from the word go.
Here's the thing I want to bring up, and this is anecdotal, so this is me. I had the same doctor for 20 years. He was his own doctor. He had his own office. He had his own staff. He joined up with one of the big medical groups about 5 years ago. Within 6 months, he started telling me different stuff. I said, where's this going?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I said, okay, you've just moved about 10 miles away. I didn't tell him this, but he did move 10 miles away. And it's not worth following him. I found another doctor and I interviewed that doctor. I didn't, I made an appointment, of course. I said, look, I'm not here for a checkup. I'm here to interview you, see if you're a doctor, if you're the kind of doctor that is going to do me any good. And I've been with him now for 3 years, and I'm pretty happy with him. And he doesn't give me any grief. He agrees with me, and especially what you're saying, Mitch, about a lot of this stuff. He's still his own doctor. In other words, he's not part of a corporation. So right now there's trust, but so many of these doctors are hooking up with these big hospitals,
and it's not
big corporations. They're getting on the company line.
Yeah, and it's not the company line that they're all worried about. It's the bureaus that license them,
and the drug companies
have adopted what they call a standard of care. That's the term they use, the standard of care. And the standard of care, for example, in this country says that if your LDL cholesterol, your low density lipoproteins, is over 60 or 70, then you must prescribe a statin. Okay. And these statins are killing people left, right, and center. My opinion. I mean, I'm not a doctor, so I don't have to worry about losing my license for talking like this. But they are running off of somebody's hypothesis. A guy named Ansel Keys from the 50s and 60s, who's the first guy that said cholesterol and fat are what's causing, dietary fat are what's causing heart attacks. And he was a great politician, and he got hooked up with the government. And in 1977, McCarthy in Congress, they had hearings where they came up with the recommended diet, where all the grains and sugars and what they call vegetable oils, which are not vegetable oils, they're industrial seed oils. They're poisonous to human beings, and they cause a lot of the grief that we have now. So substituting butter for margarine is a deadly thing to do to yourself.
Yeah, we've gone back to nothing but butter.
Yeah, and avoiding eating cholesterol is a deadly thing to do to yourself. And all of the things that they manipulated the statistics and studies to show back in those days has been already disproven, but you'll never see any of it on the news because this is set in stone now. This is their new reality. Unfortunately, their new reality is killing off the human race.
And that here we go. Boy, I'm sure glad this is Open Mic Friday.
Hey, aren't you glad I came?
Because, okay, that leads into another whole conversation, Mitch. Are they trying to kill off a good chunk of the population? there are people in very high places who think that there is just way too many people on this planet.
Oh, and Bill Gates is supposedly sitting at the head of the boardroom
And,
table.
and Mr. Klaus.
Yeah, and there might, you know, I mean, that's a James Bond movie type conspiracy theory. The sad thing about conspiracy theories of late is that every so-called conspiracy theory has turned out to be the truth. Donald Trump is a Russian spy, you know. And the same thing with this goes. And who knows? A lot of these people have the best of intentions and they actually believe what they think, but once they build their careers and their businesses around those
then they have to maintain
intentions, what are they going to come up and say? I was wrong. I'm sorry. I'll shut my company down tomorrow. We'll stop making Snackwell cookies with
right.
We
have a bank. We have a bank here in California that just went because they were following all that, and all of the financing was to all these green deals.
Oh yeah. And meanwhile, they're going to come out of it all right because the government's going to take your money and my money and bail them out with it. So,
well, of course,
we can't run on the banks.
You know who's invested in it over there, don't you? But they're not letting that portion out.
No,
we have a couple of really highly known Congress and senators that are very deep in that, and I know that because I did some research to find out and dig on the board of directors, and of the board of directors, only one had a financial background. All the rest of them are donors to a party that leans towards that side of being in California. I'll just put it that way.
You know, I was given some serious thought to go until the war broke out in the Ukraine. I was going to go over there and apply for the job as head of one of their oil companies, because obviously you don't need to be very qualified to do that. And I thought that might be a good fit for me. What do you think?
You know, I was on the same track there with you. I mean, you know.
Oh man! So anyway, let me finish up my little diatribe about the 3 points I wanted to make. Because so the second thing that we got wrong is that the things that they tell us are healthy for us are poisons, and the things they tell us are poison for us are the things that we absolutely need, and that's scientific fact right now. That's been proven. There's legitimate studies. And that includes seed oils, carbohydrates, and most plants, because that's another thing that I've learned that is fascinating as hell. And that is that most plants on planet Earth are toxic. Okay, they're toxic because that's their defense mechanism. See, we get in a fight, we can run away. A plant has no way to defend itself, so it engages in chemical warfare. Okay. And this is where all these allergies to all these different things like gluten and these different plant proteins and the glyphosates that are pesticides. Well, those are manufactured in plants to keep the insects from eating them. They don't want to get eaten. Okay?
Monsanto.
Yeah. Where do you think they got the chemistry? They learned this chemistry from the plants. They learned it from the plants. The plants taught them. And not only that, but plants have lectins and anti-nutrients and things that screw up your gut and all kinds of other stuff. Who's that?
There's Craig.
Hey, mate, how you doing?
He doesn't show up too often either anymore.
Yeah.
So at any rate, there's a little thing going around in the keto and carnivore community, and it comes from a doctor who's practicing in Australia now. He's an American guy named Anthony Chafee, and he has a video on YouTube, and it's called "Plants Are Trying to Kill You." And if you really want to see something interesting and 100% on the money, watch that video by Chafee. Plants are trying to kill you. So what are we left with? We're left with a few low carbohydrate vegetables like Brussels sprouts and broccoli and things, but they found 150 carcinogens in a Brussels sprout. These plants make thousands and thousands of these different chemicals that are poisonous to humans. And then you get people saying, well, you need sugar. You have to have sugar. You can't live without sugar. Well, I haven't had a drop of sugar in a year. Okay. I haven't had not a carbohydrate.
Yeah, you have.
What?
I'm just saying most people
who
are trying to avoid sugar are still getting it in many other ways.
I may get between 2 and 5 incidental grams of carbs a day.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about you directly, Mitch. I'm just talking about people in general who will say, "Oh, I don't use sugar." Okay.
Oh, well, sugar is bread. Bread is sugar. Pasta is
Yeah.
sugar. You know,
The
carbohydrates.
only thing that's not sugar is water and salt.
Water and salt. That's right.
That's it. Everything else, and your body will turn into a form of sugar in order to break it down.
Well, you have the human body is like a hybrid. Most people don't realize that because nobody is running on it. Hardly anybody in this world is running on anything other than sugar. But the human body can run on two forms of energy. It can run on sugar, and it can run on fat.
Mm-hmm. It can run on carbohydrates too.
Well, that's sugar. Oh, when I say sugar, sugar, I mean carb, because
beer. You can survive on
sugar.
Beer.
Yeah, 100%. You can, but that's sugar. And then they say, well, you have to eat carbohydrates because your brain needs glucose as fuel, and that's not true either. There are some areas of your brain that need glucose, but the majority of your brain can run on what they call ketones, which is where the ketogenic diet comes from. So you're either a fat burning machine or you're a glucose burning machine, okay? Or you switch back and forth between those two states, like a hybrid car. Sometimes it's run on electric, sometimes it's run on
there is something else that plays into that equation, though, Mitch, and that's your age.
Oh, I don't know. I'm 76, and
I mean, when it comes to taking in carbs, I could not have imagined going through the shit that I went through when I was in the service daily. If I tried to eat what I ate when I was 20, now I'd be dead in a year.
Well, yeah, maybe when you're younger, carbs don't hurt you, but that doesn't negate the fact that you don't need them.
It depends. If you burn them up,
the minimum daily requirement, and if you don't believe me, just look it up on any government database, and they're the ones that tell you what the RDAs are. The minimum daily requirement for carbohydrate in a human diet is zero. You got to have protein, you got to have fat, but you don't need not a single gram of carbohydrate, okay? Because you have the chemistry in your liver to manufacture glucose from fat if your body needs glucose for the few things it uses glucose for. And that's called gluconeogenesis, and it's a thing that's real. And I know that I haven't eaten a drop of sugar, but when I go for my blood tests, my fasting glucose level's 70 or 80, somewhere in there, which is right where it's supposed to be. So the glucose is coming from somewhere, and we have the ability to make that stuff. So there's a tremendous misunderstanding about how the human body works. They tell you all the shit that's going to kill you. The doctors go along with it because of the standard of care, and this crap has become dogma now. And these doctors get called on the carpet and reprimanded and can lose their license for telling somebody when their cholesterol is 100 that they need to be not telling them that they should be on a statin. And we've got a bunch of doctors now that have to operate like robots, like we drive. Don't go too fast or the cop will pull you over, take your driver's license away. Doctors, unfortunately, are like that. And the doctors that good luck trying to find a doctor that has studied even as much as me, and I'm a layperson at this. So at any rate, I don't know if you guys think it would be a stupid of me to go on ranting on a YouTube channel about shit like this, or would anybody take me seriously, or if I ever had anything actually valuable to say or not. But I thought I'd float it here, seeing as I'm live.
Mitch, it's no big deal because nobody listened to you back then either.
No, I know that. and I appreciate that, and I also understand exactly why. It's because the only thing that's important, and I mean really important, if you're going to get popular on YouTube, is if you're a hot young girl.
Titties.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, none of that stuff makes any difference. So no matter how intelligent I might sound or how real what I have to say is, it's never going to attract the audience that some stupid TikToker that's showing off her ass on TikTok is going to attract.
Well, you can put on a pair of short shorts, Mitch, and see how it works out. Talking about that subject matter, doing a dance, and then we'll know if it works or not.
Yeah, I'll have an audience of 85-year-old fat women. I don't know. That's not what I'm looking for either.
You know, Gary's got a point. I know sewing channels that have way more subs than we do.
Oh
Sit
my
there and
God.
crocheting.
It's
Sit
more
there
diverse
crocheting.
group. Yeah,
These
but it's
guys
more.
turn, these guys with their wood lathes. These
But
guys
you know
with
what
their wood
you got to
lathes.
remember. Look at the amount of people that are interested in that versus the drones. The drones
Of
a very
course.
limited size community. When you're talking about lathing or sewing or knitting and all these different, cooking channels and everything else, and especially coming from the Philippines and the girls that are there, I mean, they start 1 month later, they've got 1,000 subscribers and they're, monetizing their channel in a blink of an eye.
Or get yourself a cute little cat and teach it a trick.
Oh,
Or
God, yeah.
Put it on the internet. You got, 18 million views. Crazy.
So since the last time I talked to Mitch, well, yeah, no, I got a dog. So, and the dog has his own YouTube channel.
No.
The dog's, he's got 23 subs. He never gets any views. Somebody said start doing shorts. So I've been doing shorts. In 1 week, he's gotten 500 views.
It's crazy, isn't it?
That's because of the algorithm of YouTube. They've gone to the
shorts.
short.
They want to see shorts right now.
Yeah,
Shorts will get you there.
You know why? The monetization that comes out of it for them.
They annoy me, the shorts. You want to settle down. You're tired of clicking the button looking for something to watch. You finally find something to watch. You settle in, and it's over.
Yep. That's it. That's all I get.
I get
1 minute.
Seconds. What the hell was that?
Yeah, but Mitch, you got to remember we were talking about common sense. You have a thought. You want to learn more. You want to interested and educate yourself, and find something interesting. The problem of today, and especially with all the kids that are out there, 15 seconds, it's gone. I'm on to something else.
Well, yeah.
That's a known fact. 15 seconds is the max watch time you're going to get of anything under 40 years of age.
You're absolutely
Unless
right.
They're going there for that.
Attention span has gone away.
Flown the coop, as they say.
Yeah, it really has. So anyway, enough about me and my stupid diet. How you guys doing? How you doing, Steve?
Doing good. Yeah, doing good. Yeah, I understand the health things. I'm a diabetic. In fact, it's been 51 years I've been a diabetic for.
Really? Are you type 1 or 2?
Type 1. My pancreas stopped many years ago.
Yeah, that didn't come from diet though.
No, it doesn't. That's why I was going to bring the point up about diabetes. It depends. You're talking type 2, not type 1.
Well, there are some guys in the community in the space that I frequent here in they're reversing type 2 diabetes at a rate that any doctor would tell you would be impossible by going on a low to no carbohydrate.
Oh yeah, no, you get rid of the carbs, you exercise. Right. And you'll be off from your metformin and all the rest of your
metformin, no insulin. You get your A1C back down to under 5.6, and you're not even pre-diabetic anymore.
Well, see, for me, I mean, my A1C runs around 661, and being
that's pretty good for type 1.
That's really good because I just saw a new doctor, and I really like him. And he looked at me, and he looked at it, and he goes, well, "What are you doing?" I says, "Yeah, I've gained some weight." He goes, "You can take care of that, but whatever you're doing, your health is good as far as your A1C levels and everything are going."
Well, you're 1,000%. You're 1,000% ahead of the curve as a type 1 diabetic.
I'm going to Chicago and just beat up on Mike. I don't want to hear this.
Human conversation.
Anyway, Steve.
Yeah.
Even the type 1, there's a doctor named Friedman, I forget his first name, but he wrote a book. He was like you, type 1 diabetic all his life. And he learned how to manage that to where he used almost no insulin on a daily basis, and his glucose was almost a flat line, and his A1C.
Well, that all has to do exactly what you were talking about, because a diabetic who's type 1, you're taking insulin because of carbohydrates. That's why you're taking insulin. Your body has no way to produce insulin to break down the carbohydrates to get rid of that sugar. So if your consumption is less and you get rid of the carbohydrates and you go to more protein, because when you're doing a diet, you don't count anything for insulin levels. It's only the carbohydrate level that you're taking insulin for. It's like, I enjoy red wine. I don't take any insulin consuming red wine. I drink white wine. Man, I've got to take the insulin for it because of the sugar level in it. So it's from the sugar and the carbohydrates, and that's what's causing it for like a type 1. But there is a really interesting thing, if anybody does have it. There's a company called ViaCyte. They're out of San Diego, and they have designed a capsule. And they are already on their 2nd year of human trials here in the United States. They've already done 2 years of human trials in Canada. And what it is the isolate cells they put inside the capsule. Because, like just anybody else that has a transplant or you put something in your body's going to attack it. It's foreign. So what it is a capsule that they've gone in and they place it in over next to where your pancreas, and it starts reproducing pancreas cells. And the study's going to be coming out this year, at the end of this year, finally, after this whole entire thing now coming on 5-year study, that they've got people that the pancreas is being regenerated because it's regrown and it's redone again. And it's like these people have been on insulin for years and years and years. And the next thing they do, they're down at the local candy shop and they can eat whatever they want if they want to.
Well, unfortunately, Steve, if I was the CEO of the company that was inventing that, I would have an army of bodyguards surrounding me at all times, because there are big, powerful, nasty forces in this world that do not want to see diabetes cured, because it will take away $1 trillion a year in business for them.
Same with cancer.
Same with everything. It is
cancer's the biggest.
It is so crooked, and you see it at a microcosm level on YouTube and all the social media. How they you don't dare say certain things or do certain things because you get canceled. You just get beat to death, and that happens on a large scale with anybody who's got billion-dollar industries. And it's very hard to get the truth about anything out today, because you got this army of people that wants to cancel you if you say anything that's against their self-interest. So,
well, Drone View Media, what he's saying here, I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't know you had MS and the steroids. And yes, that is, because for me, when I had to go on some steroids, you want to talk about what it does to your insulin you take. It cuts it in half to almost only 1/4 the strength once you're on the steroids. It just obliterates insulin.
Yeah, once you start fooling with hormones, they affect everything. Insulin, you probably know more about insulin than I do, Steve, but you know that insulin plays a part in hundreds of different physiological reactions in the human body, and maintaining blood sugar is only one of them, but it's
only
not
part of it.
It's not the most important part of what insulin does. Mm-hmm. Insulin also controls the switch on every one of your fat cells that says take in fat or put out fat, store fat or use fat. That's all controlled by insulin. So when people have abnormally high insulin levels, they can never lose weight. That's one of the reasons they can't lose weight.
By the way, I just wanted to show everyone we're missing. There's a lot of people here who don't know Mitch, maybe who forgot Spike. I mean, where else could you see Spike? Come on.
That's me. That's me. Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to bring that.
You talk about Spank the monkey. Yeah. I still got Spank on my computer here.
Oh, Spank. That's what
Spank,
it is.
Yeah.
I was wondering how Spank would be on a carnivore channel. I was thinking about calling myself the old guy carnivore or something like that.
By the way, it's been a while, Mitch, since you have been around, and it's a Facebook thing, but there's a thing called Old Farts with Drones. And the guy, Bob Dempsey, he's got his own YouTube channel. He's in live streams everywhere. and he's just maybe 2 or 3 years younger than you, and he looks like an elf. But he's a really nice guy. But yeah,
most of the people in the drone community are very nice. We're very nice guys. And,
yeah.
and,
But I mean, it just amazes me when I say all the new people who have come around. He's one of them, and it's just it's sad to see some people. I'll give you a good example. I was going through my subscriber list that is 5 years old, and because I was trying to put together this video before the live stream, and I'm going, I haven't seen anything from that dude in 3 years. And I start looking at his channel. It's been 3 years since they've done anything. It just amazes me how people will love this hobby and all of a sudden just drop it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing. Nobody really changes.
I think part of that had to be, I agree with you, Brian. And I think a part of that had to be is people get in and most people will just go headlong into something and they just delve right into it and go. And then the pandemic hit. And that made where everybody was locked in. So more and more people were doing more things, of watching and viewing and seeing stuff. So I think we're seeing the change of finally getting back to a normalcy again.
Now Dom's in the chat. If Dom is not in every live stream on YouTube, there's something wrong. And Dom, my link for this stream is further up in the chat. And it just amazes me you're not here. Whatever.
How about Art? Where's Art Carlson? I haven't seen him.
Art will pop in here every now and again. It might be a little bit later. What time we got here? 5:30. He might be showing up soon. He'll say hello real quick.
He's still around, isn't he?
Yeah, because he's still working because he's only an hour.
That's right. Yeah,
2 hours behind me, so he's on his way home right now.
How about Spike? How about iSpikes? He's still around.
He's still around. I don't think he does YouTube as much though.
From Australia. I mean, he was. He had big plans, but with world tours and all that other stuff. I liked Spike. I used to go on his live stream. He used to come on mine. What a character.
He is. There's Gary.
Wow, his blood sugar dropped to 33. That'd be more than that's death almost.
Yeah, you got to be, anything under 60 they say is hypoglycemic. You're skirting with that.
You start getting 70 and you're borderline.
It depends on how you are. Some people in the carnivore community can have their blood sugars drop down to 50 and feel no effects of it whatsoever. And the reason is they're running on fat. They don't really need the glucose.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be running on fat because I'm not eating any sugar.
And Mickey, when somebody drops that low, it's like the person is drunk. I know, I've been through it. And when your blood sugar drops down, you act like you're drunk.
You'll pass out.
You go through and you're disoriented, and
you'll pass out. You'll just drop like a rock. But I can't believe that.
And that's not my everyday time, Brian. I know what you're laughing about.
No, I'm looking at this comment here. I'm not going to say anything.
Tomas.
Oh, there he is.
Happy St. Patty's Day. That was one thing I did when I got up and going to a meeting. I was headed out to go to a meeting this morning. I'm going, I got to make sure I text to wish, Tomas a very happy St. Patty's Day. I was thinking about you all morning long.
Yeah, I was
Tomas,
too.
how you doing, buddy? God, long time, huh?
Being St. Patty's Day, I was thinking, well, maybe I can for old time's sake, get Tomas to come in here and help produce the show. But oh no, now he shows up. Yeah. Thanks, Tomas. Appreciate that, buddy.
Yeah, Tomas, I went to board a jet and I was headed your way, but they wouldn't let me on.
So, Brian, how often do you do this now? How often do you do these live streams?
How often what?
Do you do the
I really just started back to doing these because, like I said, my internet was so bad, I couldn't see myself even. I stopped doing them back in October.
Yeah, this is the first email I've gotten about this. So.
Well, the other thing is when you get out of the habit of doing something, I go, I started doing these maybe a month ago again. And I started like, okay, I couldn't remember anything. The first two, I don't even think I sent out any notices at all. I don't know how the hell Steve showed up. Steve showed up for one of them here about 2 weeks ago or a month ago. But it's just amazing what you forget.
You sent me an invite.
I don't know who I sent them to then, because a lot of people, I only had like 70 or 80 views on that when I usually get over 100. And yeah, no, I don't know what was going on. I've already got over 100 now, so it's normal now. I don't know, man. But no, man, I still fly drones, and I still, and that's the thing, though. Since last time we used to talk, I've gotten into the photography aspect of drones. I like the video. It's fun. I really have gotten into photography because I'm actually making money from that.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a lot, but it's more than I was making doing video. What pisses me off, though, is a lot of these.
And hopefully it's all cash.
No, it's PayPal stuff, so I can deal with that. They'll put it in my account, but they charge me a fee if it's direct. So I just take the PayPal stuff and let them. I'll worry about it later.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I mean, it's great putting up a photo which takes no effort at all, selling it for $10, and then seeing the company you just gave it to, they made $475 on it. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. Well,
what company are you? Are you using a
that
media
particular
company?
one was PicFair, which is out of the UK. I've done the best so far with those. Two of my photos have been made into metal prints, and there goes the 475.
Mm-hmm.
But when you first start out, they only pay you $10 a pop. When you become more popular and your pictures sell, the sky could be the limit with them anyway. With other ones, you got to be real careful. I found a bunch of them. They're bullshit. Mm-hmm. You end up they want you to pay them.
Exactly.
So, yeah, no. Hey, Lake Pilot, been a while. Let's see who we got in here. So I'm saying we got all these new names that I know Mitch doesn't know.
I don't know any. I'm looking over here, and I know Tomas. I know you guys. I saw Charlie was in here a little earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But I got an excuse, I mean,
the only originals, Mitch, that I think still hang out, like of our little group, you might say, is me, Matt Northeast. That's about it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I haven't heard from Jim. Jim lives right here the next town.
Nobody hears from Jim anymore.
Years. I haven't heard from Jim.
Nobody hears
from Jim anymore. I just wish somebody would, because I kind of worry about it. He's had some serious health problems, and I liked him.
Yeah, he has.
And the only one that knew anything about it is when Ron Lockwood went to the meetup there in Florida. Him and Adrian went to his home, and they knocked on the garage door and popped in the garage door on him. And I won't say what he said. It was, "What the are you doing here?" Right out of his mouth at him, instead of saying hello or anything. He was like really upset. It was
well, I think Jim got disillusioned again with the government and the problems and the politics of it all, and
which is easy to do.
And I know he had had a lot of burden that they had with home problems and everything else that was piling up on him too.
Yeah. And he of course had a much greater investment in it than any of us. He paid big money for some of that big time equipment he had. And the industry being what it is, you got to have, $50,000-$100,000 invested in drones, and, they want to pay you $75 to do a video for them.
Right. or even just a job, to do it as a living.
Yeah, no, you can't. I think that, very few companies have positioned themselves to really make a living. And,
that's one thing I will give DJI on their new, was it the
Hey, Mike.
The T30, the T30, and that with the infrared on there you're paying around say 15,000. It's not like the Matrice like with that Jim had, and that basic drone was 30 grand.
And
Not
the
counting-
cameras were the camera, just the infrared
Then the
camera.
cameras are thousands of dollars at a pop. So when they came out with that opened the door, because I know. Do you remember Draymond Crawford?
Yeah.
Recovery
still-
one drone. Yeah. He bought one, and he's picking up a few more jobs here and there. In fact, I saw a post that he said, "Yeah, I thought it was getting slow," and then he ended up with a couple more projects dropped in his lap. So,
and that's the thing, though. I was 107 for 2 years. I let it lapse because I got tired of dealing with these realtors. They wanted it yesterday. It rained today and yesterday, and they want to know why they can't get it today.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal. I'm retired. I don't want to deal with that
And then
crap.
they don't want to pay, and they don't want to pay you a lot for it either.
Well, I mean, my fee was up front, and which is why they probably got on my ass more than they probably would have, because I didn't give anybody any breaks, and one of them was my neighbor.
Yeah.
She's a realtor.
yeah.
Well, I still got my 107. I keep it. I take the stupid online test to keep it current. That's easy enough to do.
I really.
I haven't used it. I haven't used it in years.
With remote ID, I guess I'm going to have to eventually. I'm going to have to renew it.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens with this remote ID, because they still don't have any. They still can't really implement it at the current state of the state.
No.
They're still, you can't.
No.
You to try to find a drone that has it built in. Good luck. To have a module that you can clamp on the outside. There's like
The newer drones have them already on it. The DJI, it's on it. It's on board.
Yeah. So what does that mean? That if you don't have DJI drone, it's kind of ironic in a way that the only company that makes a drone that is acceptable to fly in the United States under the new laws is the same company that the United States has banned from being purchased by the government in the
Right.
South. Yeah.
Well, this has to do with Autel, because Brian's got it too, is the Autel Light Plus, because that's how I got on board, was watching the videos that Brian was producing. And I've heard rumors it's on board. They just haven't turned it on.
Oh, it's there.
Yeah.
I saw the update for Autel. It's on the Bird now, but it's not what I call service affecting.
Yeah.
Because I'm still able to launch here in Houston in places where my buddies who are flying DJI can't.
Well, remote ID is one thing. Putting restrictions of geofencing is another.
Yeah. Geofence is the thing.
Well, remote ID is not mandatory yet, not until the fall, I think.
September.
Year. Yeah, September.
And even then, I still want to know how they're going to do it.
Yeah.
I don't have any
realistically-
idea. Like Mike just put up in the comment there that there's already people that have hacked have enough of a hack in the software, so they'll be able to tell everything about you as the operator, and for those all of those reasons put together.
Well, they already know about you right now because you got your phone on you.
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah. But
They know they can turn the phone on. People want to believe whatever they want to believe. If they want to find out about you, track you on, and you even have it off, they can turn it on and listen to everything that you're doing. The only way that it will not be with the phone is if they pull the battery out of it.
Well, then keep a low profile and don't get on anybody's radar.
That's right.
That's one of the reasons I've kind of dropped out of all this stuff, is just not to make any, not to have people want to be angry at me for any reason or chasing after me, and because it's inevitable. You cannot hide these days.
Yeah.
You can't hide from anything anymore. You have to decide. I've decided that, I like the convenience of the cell phone. I like the gadgets. I like the GPS. I like all the neat things that it does for me. And since I have nothing to hide, I'm not worried about the privacy. Let them, they want to look, let them, or listen, let them listen. I don't care.
So let me ask you something, Mitch, on a personal note. Do you ever just say, okay, I'm going to go fly my quad this afternoon because I just feel like doing it? Or have you not ever, since you've gotten away from it. You just don't ever do it anymore. No.
Yeah, maybe I get the urge about once a month to go
Okay.
out. So I'll go out, the park where we had the event down here.
So I'm telling you, dude, especially you, back in the day, thinking this old bastard is flying this good. I need to figure this shit out.
But you remember, I had a head start on, and that head start
Yeah.
was 55 years of RC airplane flying,
RC.
and being a licensed, a real pilot, an instrument rated pilot. I mean, aviation is in my toenails. So
Yeah.
I did have a little advantage, but it didn't give me much of an advantage because it didn't
Well,
take
the one who's impressed me with his FPV flying is Rodney Bell.
Yes.
all those guys. Yeah. So
Yeah.
He has really, really gotten good for an old fart.
it's practice anything. You practice anything, you're going to learn it. And the head start that I have was just that. It was a head start, but it gave me a small handicap on somebody new. But that didn't mean they couldn't catch me and overtake me in a hot New York second. If they just kept at it. So many guys.
I guess what I'm saying, though, in a crude way, though, Mitch, is you kind of inspired me to even get into that side of the hobby.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, and that's one of the reasons that I keep thinking, although I haven't done anything, about switching my channel over to a channel that concentrates on health and diet, because there are no YouTube channels with a 76-year-old guy. They're all young bodybuilder looking types, most of these kids, and they could basically
Seeing someone that old is proof in the pudding. Like, look, I'm this old. You're not even 30 yet. What are you talking about?
Well, the point that I'm trying to make is that amazingly enough, I'm working out. I work out at the gym every other day. I'm down to 142 pounds, like 14% body fat. I'm actually putting on muscle at my age, and it's all because I'm eating what they refer to in our community as the proper human diet, the ancestrally appropriate human diet. And it's easy to explain. It's easy to understand, and it makes sense why you get the things you need from meat, because you are meat.
Yep.
We're not bananas inside. We're meat. So the building blocks of meat is what it takes to make the building blocks of meat. And nobody can tell me that I'm going to find in a kumquat what I need to rebuild the muscles of my body.
Just please tell me bacon is involved.
Bacon is meat candy. Bacon is the holy grail of the carnivore diet. Bacon, nitrates included, believe it or not, nitrates and nitrites are healthy for you. They are not bad for you.
Because you're starting to bum me out with this going to the gym thing. And I don't know about that.
There's more nitrates in celery than there is in bacon. Okay. Bacon is a health food. The most strict form of carnivore, they call BBB and E. That's the ultimate elimination diet if you want to find out what's making you sick. Okay. And that is beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. That's the BBB and E diet.
And it's everything I love.
Well, see, I had all that last night for dinner. We made scrambled eggs with bacon in it and with butter, cooking it in butter. And
that is, without a doubt, the healthiest thing a human being can eat on this planet, regardless of all that other crap that people say. Not only that, but think about after you ate that, how long was it before you were hungry again?
It wasn't.
You're not. I eat. Do another thing I do is called intermittent fasting.
Mm-hmm.
I eat in a 4-hour window every day. Okay, 4 hours. I only eat during 4 hours. I eat from noon to 4 every day. That's when I eat my food, and I don't eat in the other 20 hours. And I'm never hungry. And you're talking to a guy You're talking to a guy that would wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, get in his car, drive to the Walgreens, buy a half a gallon of ice cream, come home and eat the whole friggin' thing because I'm such a sugar addict and I have none of those cravings and could care less anymore.
See, Mitch, even Tim Jackson's wondering what happened to Spank.
The Spanky. Spanky's alive and well on my hard drive. He's in there somewhere.
I don't know if you can see that or not, but I was going to show this up there. There are younger people. This is my nephew. He just turned 13. He got I told him to start off with just the DJI Mini 2.
Oh, cool.
It'd be affordable. That was a video. Oh, no, stop. Hold on.
Stop running, yeah.
Doggone it.
Nope. We got a
He
guy.
sent this to me, and I made sure to send him. So he got on the truth, took the truth test, and that was down here at the harbor.
Oh, okay. Wow, look at that. Yeah, I see the water on the rocks.
We got a guy here.
He's been sending me all these videos and pictures that he's been taking. He's 13 years old, and he's just having a blast.
They make the best pilots, these young kids. You think I can compete with my grandson on video games?
No.
Uh-oh. Bring Spanky.
Bring Spanky on. Unfortunately, Tim, Spanky's not on my notebook computer, which I'm on here. I took down most of that stuff in my studio. So
there was a sunset shot he took the other night.
Oh,
that's not far from where you live, Steve. I can already tell.
Yep.
Cool.
He's just across the freeway here from me, and as the crow flies, not even a half a mile.
You know, Steve, I thought about you the other day. I said, I wonder how Steve is doing, considering, you know, the whole state of California is gone now. I mean, it's either washed away, flooded away, droughted away, earthquaked away. I figured, you know, it must be hell out there in the middle of all this stuff. That's what we see on the news here. You know, all we see is the disaster pictures.
Yeah. No, Dominic, that's not mine. That's my nephew. His dad's I'm his godfather. It's my cousin's grandson. He's got a hold of me, and his parents said, talk to Steve, find out what you want to do, you know, talk with him first before buying any drone. So, because he was looking at all these little other off-the-shelf drones, and and the deal for the ones through Costco for the Mini 2, and what's really ironic is Costco is selling the Nano Plus and the Light Plus now on their websites.
Was that the Autel?
Costco, Autel Light, Autel Light Plus and the Nano Plus. Costco is selling them as a bundle deal, and it comes with 4 batteries.
Well, one of the guys that I fly with here, he's 37. His son is 12 or 11. He's had the toy drones. Like, Dad, can I get a good drone? Mm-hmm. You know, Dad's been laid up on disability leave for a year. So it's like, oh man, money.
Man.
He goes onto eBay and finds a Phantom 3 for under $200.
What about the batteries?
That's the
cost with the batteries. No telling how long the kid will be able to fly it, but hey, he's got a good drone now.
Well, yeah, that's good. You know, you have a love-hate relationship with DJI,
right?
You love them because their products are just outstanding, but the bullshit you got to go through with the geofencing and the screw ups on upgrades and all makes you want to throw them in the trash can. So,
well, I'm lucky where I live. I have nothing to worry about here unless I go further up to what they call John Wayne Airport. Mitch, you're familiar, up to John Wayne Airport, you know, up the road here. But the only time that I've ever been affected by that is when they had that oil spill up in Huntington Beach, which was all over the news. It was like, okay, you're going to put a geofencing down the coast because the Coast Guard wanted for about. Oh no, DJI puts a 25 mile circle, which took it out all the way inland to where my project is that I fly. And that's like 8 miles from the coast.
Oh shit.
So
Tim, to answer your question, no, I don't think I'm going to be doing the drone live streams anymore, but I am thinking about coming back to YouTube with a diet and, you know, eating and
You know, if you do,
carnivore
Mitch,
channel.
you need to make sure you at least let us know, because it's
Well,
always
everybody who's a subscriber. What I wouldn't start a new channel. I would, you know, I got a head start with subscribers. They may not be interested, but at least I got
so instead of an old guy in a drone, was it going to be old guy in and bacon?
like
How's that
maybe
work?
carnivore old guy or something.
Carnivore, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have the old guy is going to be in the name. I'm going to keep that identity. But that's all I got to offer. That is the fact that at my age this shit really works. What do you think it might do for you? You know, in other words, it's kind of like, I tried it. I've been a human guinea pig, and
Man, I know I need to do something, because I don't know though. That's another thing my doctor was like, you've been the same weight for 35 years now. Don't mess with it.
well, it depends on what you're how you're
I'm
feeling.
overweight.
What your labs? Well, the only the low carb diet's been proven over and over again as the easiest way to lose weight.
It's easy, but it's still hard.
Well, it's hard because
my love of pizza gets in the way of.
It's not a weight loss issue. It's an addiction.
It's Friday night, and Friday night is pizza night.
But that's exactly what it is, and that people don't talk about that enough. It's not an issue of learning how to lose weight. It's an issue of learning how to manage and overcome an addiction.
Yeah,
and that's the tough part. I mean, anybody can tell you how to lose weight. And it certainly doesn't have anything to do with counting calories. This business about calories is the most harmful myth that's ever been invented.
Yeah, calories are bullshit. They always have been.
It's always been bullshit, and this, and exercise. You can't lose weight by exercising. You can get healthier and help a little by exercising. But,
well, Mickey, didn't you go in for the waiver since you have it to post it on there? You should have posted that before going out to fly. You could have given that and get the waiver, and that drone will take off.
Yeah. Oh, the DJI thing.
Yeah, because he's saying he says I got a last waiver to fly, but then DJI, but you got to get it unlocked through DJI.
Yeah, you got to. Don't you have to register it through your app? Basically,
you got to do it through the app.
And that's another thing.
Hello, Jim.
Jim, I recognize.
Yeah, Jim Strong's been a while.
Yeah.
He's been around a while.
Tim Jackson. I remember Tim. Yeah.
Oh, Jim Beauchart's lurking in the background.
Is Jim Beauchart still? He was here in the very beginning.
I didn't know that. I just started typing. Jim came up. Chuck, hello.
Hey, Chuck.
A lot of Jims in here.
Chuck is not a moderator? Oh, my God. Steve, Tomas, this is what I pay you guys for. Why is Chuck not a moderator?
We can't make him a moderator.
So, all right, I'm gonna have to hire Trump or somebody for this. This is bullshit.
No, I think only you can make him a moderator.
I'm kidding. Oh, and I'm not even subscribed to him either. Oh, wait, no, I am.
Well, listen, guys, I've bored you enough, and
Mitch, you really didn't. It was I was
good
so
to see
happy
you.
to see you. Yeah.
Well, keep sending me the links whenever you do it. I'll come in.
Well, I know what the problem is. I've got like 3 or 4 different lists.
Well,
because there's some people I don't want on this channel.
Well, you need to take one of your lists and edit.
Then you screwed up with me.
Yeah, me too. And me too.
Gotta have Steve. Steve's always got to be there. But Mitch, is really good to see you. And I'll make sure I got to make sure I know which list I sent out.
It's old guy in a drone at Gmail.
Yep,
is the email address that my YouTube channel was associated with. Mike's good to see you too, buddy. All right, so I'm gonna drop out and commence with the evening activity of smoking a cigar.
Yeah, I got to wrap this up in a few too. Anyway, it's getting to be dog feeding time.
And Steve's great to see you too, man.
Good to see you, Mitch.
Good to see
Pleasure.
you. Yeah. All right, we'll do it more often.
Oh, good.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I haven't been around much myself because I've just been so busy with work and different community projects that I'm involved with. So my time is very, very rare. But it was like in fact, we had one this morning, and I came back in and I saw the notification that Brian was going to go. So I said, notify me. And then a little while later, the email came in.
Let me see. That took an hour and 40 minutes, but I finally got a video to show.
All right. Well, I'm going to take off. See you.
All right,
guys.
Mitch.
Good to see you guys. Say hi. Listen, say hi to the whole crowd for me, would you?
Yep,
Will
will
do.
do.
All right.
And it's really good to see you again, bud.
Okay.
Take it easy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So let me see. We got Covaxion. Chuck finally put up a video.
You had another video that somebody posted up way before back.
From who? Because I'm pretty sure there was only two. From Lee Bessing, Yellow Rose Drones, and Chris Wedgeworth.
I thought another one came up after that. I'm going to scroll back and see if I can see it.
If I missed it, I'm real sorry. But yeah, I'm going to get this one put up. And just remember, Chuck, we're going to critique this video. So just keep that in mind.
We give it star ratings, Chuck.
Yeah. We'll go full screen on that. I guess the sound's not coming over. That's some awesome shots there, though. Whew.
Yeah, it is.
Anything urban, man, I'll tell you what. That's okay, Chuck. I think I've got the sound off. And I've got Epidemic too, but like I said, I never put the sound on these. Man, this is awesome. You got some history in this thing.
Yeah, from their trip that they took.
And see, this is what I like about a video. You were not lingering, you know. Okay, let me look at something though. This video goes on for like 44 minutes. I'm turning it off. No, this is only 2 minutes and 36
yeah,
seconds.
It's his trailer that he was putting out for it because it's starting later this month. He's going to run it.
There they are.
Yeah, and he's driving on the wrong side of the road. That's the problem.
I was going to say, dude, I would be dead if I drove over. I would have to hire someone to drive me. Tomas, just remember, I'm coming. I need a driver. Uh-oh. More champagne.
There we go.
Yeah, I know, Chuck, it needs music, but I can't do music right now. Very nice, though. I like this, man. The whole format, the whole setup this is definitely a 4.5 to a 5.
Yeah.
And
oh, what a shot of the Tower Bridge. That is phenomenal.
see these, and that's how do you get these shots? I didn't think you were even allowed to do this kind of stuff over there.
Oh, it's kissing all camera.
Not that stuff over the Thames.
He was on that cruise boat. I don't
He was
think that was
still
a
aerial.
drone.
Yeah,
That
even
is.
without music, this is an awesome video. Definitely, Chuck. Yep.
England vlog series.
Okay. Definitely. Yeah.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah. That was a 4.5 to a 5. Easy.
Yeah.
When you capture that many different scenes in a short video, yeah, you could. I know how it is whenever you do that. There's so much more you want to show, and it's like, yeah, okay, I'll do it in another video maybe. But that's the way to keep people's attention, man. And, it's just show all kinds of good stuff as fast as you can. Keep it, interesting, and that's what keeps the views going.
That's a great trailer, Chuck. Well
Yeah.
done, sir. That took a lot of work.
Yep. I know it took a lot of willpower too, because like I said, when I get that much video, man, that'd be a 25-minute video.
Well, see what it is what he's done is, so you're going to go into these vlogs and it's going to take you to all those places. So he's going to be going on and expanding on it. So what you do is just get that first part of the editing done,
Yeah.
crush it, and then this one takes off, and I'm guessing they're going to have to be 5 to 10 minutes long a piece once it goes to a certain area. But I know he took a lot of footage.
Yeah. And that's another thing. You just put the nail on the head, Steve. Most drone videos, if you're going to make a 4 or 5 minute drone video, watch your analytics.
Yeah.
Most people, if you look at your analytics, most people are going to watch for, if you're lucky, 2, maybe 3 minutes. So be mindful of what you're going to put in there.
No, I know. Well, with Chuck and Lori, what they're doing there too, it's not just drone footage; it's camera footage, and like he did the one in Alaska. I mean, it was like 20-some minutes long, but
yeah,
it showed them what they had to endure to go through to see the bears on that trip when they got in there to fly in, get dropped off, and say, "I hope the plane comes back to pick us up."
Okay, I just figured it out. So this is weird. So on my problem over here with, okay, we're over here and YouTube is over there. Every time I go over here and make a comment, it stops the video. And if I don't go back to it, it's been sitting there, not moving, not playing. I don't get it, why it's even doing that.
Why is it stopping the video if you're on the YouTube page?
That's just it. I'm on the YouTube page. I don't know why it's stopping it. If I make a comment in the chat, it just stops the video. I don't get it.
That's weird.
Is a norm for us. Yeah, see, that's what I like to do too, Chuck. Whenever I do a shoot, and my last one down in Kima, I used 7 different cameras. And, hours of footage down to a 3 or 4 minute video. And that's just the way it is.
And see, Sony, Canon, GoPro, DJI, Atel, all thank you for that, buying all those products.
Right. Right. And by the way, here's our newest that you'd really like even more. So, okay.
Oh, I did bite the bullet about new tech.
What's that? Uh-oh, here we go. We have an unboxing?
No, it's already unboxed. It's an unpacking. It's an unbagging.
Drum roll, please.
DJI wireless mic set.
Oh, I just bought one of those too. But it's not as fancy as that one. Who is that? DJI? Yep.
Yeah. After doing research, everything, and then with Jake Sloan, he did a review of that against his Rode, because he's out in the field in the harshest environments that you could, any of us can even imagine, and without a doubt, he had it. And the microphone for a lapel mic to hook to it. He recommended the Shure, and I started looking on other ones, and all this noise was coming out of any other mic that was being plugged into the DJI. And you think, well, Rode would maybe work. No, it wasn't. It puts a terrible sound and even like this hum onto it. And the Shure mic, everybody's out of stock, and I found it by just doing some searching, and I found it through, believe it or not, it was a music place called Reverb. And they're the only ones that had it. They had 3 of them, and I bought 2.
No, the one I bought, and I bought it on a bunch of people's recommendations on YouTube because they compared it to Rode, was 7 rims.
Mm-hmm.
And I've only tried to use it once because I want to start bringing back the old guy walk and talk videos that I was doing on my channel with my buddy Fred. And I had it out there. We're both mic'd up. I'm doing GoPro video. We got Mac the dog walking with us. So now we got something else going on. And I'm literally watching the time, taking half-hour segments. I get back home, nothing. I was using my phone to capture everything.
Uh-huh.
My phone was full.
Oh no.
Not only was it full, because I knew it was getting full, I moved it to my SD card, the new recordings. The trouble is when you take the native app that comes with Android and move your stuff to an SD card, it won't recognize, the app does not recognize what you're trying to do.
Oh,
I
you're
lost
kidding.
an hour of audio for nothing.
Oh.
So we're going to try
Well,
that
that's
again.
the nice thing about with these is with this, when you the moment you open it up, it turns it on because you see the lights turn off.
Right.
You open it up, it comes on, and then SD cards are in each one of them. So not only is it going back to the receiver, but it's also recording on the transmitter.
Okay.
So you have a backup on it.
And that's what I'm saying. You know, right away, I'm just thinking, okay, I'm having to rely on my cell phone. This is not a good idea.
Well, we had a community event here down in our harbor, and with our new supervisor for our district, and I took it down there, and I got permission from him and asked him to do because we'd like to have it so we can hear what you're saying. And I just put the microphone up over there, and I was sitting way away, and I just wanted to record the audio. It wasn't no video or anything, just to record it. Came up phenomenal.
Okay. For what you're talking about, this is what I like to use.
Oh, I've got that.
I love this thing.
Yeah.
I
Zoom.
mean, if you get this thing within 30 feet of anything that you're trying to record, it's crystal clear.
Yeah.
And if you use the right software, you can filter out the ambient noise around it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and what the hell? I can't even remember what this is. HN1. Yeah, that tells me a lot. That's a HN1. That was a virus. Okay, get this, folks. It's a virus.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. What the virus is it's going to make you buy more stuff.
No, so yeah, but I want to start doing, I mean, not that it was ever that popular on my channel, but I want to start doing the old guy walk and talk videos.
Mm-hmm.
Even to this day, I've still gotten a couple people like, why don't you do those again? They were funny. So, and that's what kills me, Steve. I set it up on a Tuesday, and Monday night I went to bed literally dreaming of how I was going to rip Fred a new one. I had like 8 or 9 lines, and thank God for the GoPro, because the GoPro, it's muffled, but it captured them, so I'll get something out of it. But those lines were awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Without a doubt. Take care, Lambo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep. No, that the H1 is a phenomenal recorder.
No, I've been, you know, just I drive my wife crazy because I'm into all this stuff, and I have fun with it because I've always been a tech guy, and now I'm retired and I got a little bit of money, and it's like, okay, I'm driving her crazy, but I'm having a good time.
Yeah. Tim, what do you mean only 1 or 2 pints?
Right? That's what I was wondering.
I got the Guinness chilled down in the outside refrigerator, so that'll be pizza, Guinness pizza night.
One of the things that I've been doing, because whenever you take a 3-month or more, which I did, break from YouTube doesn't like you anymore. You know, it's just the way it is.
Consistency. They want consistency.
So to that end, I've been making almost every day 1 or 2 shorts, and I've been putting a couple up on my channel, up on Mac's channel, and it's actually starting to work. You know, I don't know, you know, what it takes to get back.
Hello, Chris.
One thing I don't want to do, and I always use Ken Dono as like a benchmark. That's got to be, you know, say what you will about Ken. He's got an attitude. I don't give a shit. He's a good guy.
He is. He's a great guy.
He's a great guy. But he's one of the hardest working guys on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
He got where he is by doing 3 and 4 and 5 videos a week, not to mention his live streams. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. It ain't going to happen.
And not to mention his other businesses and production and everything else that he's doing.
Yep. But I mean, you can still take a page from his book and figure out if you want to go somewhere with this. This is what you're going to have to do. You want to knock yourself out, man, I'm going to support you as much as I can, watching your videos and cheering you on. But man, that's an awful lot of work.
So Gian, how you doing? That's another hardworking guy right there, Chris.
Well, it's good. Look who he's working for.
Yeah,
Kelly
I know.
must be a freaking slave driver, man.
Well, you know what? He's over visiting with Sean over in England, so Chris has got a vacation here for the next week at least.
Oh, he's a Geeksvana. You're talking about.
He was visiting Sean, because he posted that picture of him at having lunch. Sean posted the picture of Kelly and him having lunch at the pub, and I go, "Wow, Chris is going to have some time off."
Yeah, right. Chris, I need you to process this video. It'll only take about 8 hours to upload to you.
Yeah, really. 100 gigabyte later.
That's another thing too. I started this video or this live stream giving credit to kind of who put me on the path to video, and it definitely and certainly wasn't Chris Waters of Sunrise Water,
Mm-hmm.
but it was his predecessor, who also worked for Kelly Shores, and that was oh good. I'm not going to remember his name either because I'm old. You know who I'm talking about. He does RVs now.
Yeah, I know. I'm just drawing a blank.
Anyway, I know Chris probably knows. He's going to hopefully put his name in the
he's
chat.
got back already?
Kelly
He's back already. We flew a Bando today.
Philip,
Philip, that's it.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
But yeah, he's the one who more or less said, okay, you want your videos to look good, this is what you're going to have to do. And he went step by step by step. Don't do this, don't do this, don't do that, do more of this, and don't do that. And yeah, I mean, it's just basic. I would have picked it up eventually, but having someone tell you is a really good thing. So.
Well, you want to go back on that. It's like when I first got into drones, and that's going back to Ed Ricker. And that's what got me into it when I bought the Mavic Pro. He did a 2-series video.
I remember that.
Step by step by step. And man, I went and watched it and rewatched it and everything probably 4 times before I actually put my drone in the air, and then took the steps to make sure to calibrate it properly and everything. So now, there's a lot more stuff out with that, but he put that out. And so the other one is Aldrin Asasia from Flight Path.
Aldrin Asasia, yeah.
Yeah.
It was Aldrin, Ed
Kelly.
Ricker, Kelly, actually, too, I remember, and Sean Oz.
Yeah.
They've all more or less formed how I fly and how I edit. And hats off to them. They've all done very well, and they deserve it.
Yeah, especially when Sean presented it over at Spin Up, and that was the first time he'd ever done any public speaking.
Yes.
And that was so funny, is because when he got up there to start his presentation, the audio system went boof. It crashed. So he's fearful enough going up there to get on the stage, and all of a sudden the whole AV system crashes, and it's everything that he needs to present with. And so he's sitting there going, and I'm going, "You got it, Sean. You got it, Sean." And I'll tell you what, that presentation the presenters were great, but when Sean was done with that, you walked away with something you could use at the end of that 10-minute speech that he gave.
I was there for that.
Yeah, I know.
That made the whole day right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
without
was
a doubt.
But I can't wait for the next one. I'm definitely going to try to make spin up this year.
Well,
Sure.
he's getting ready to put the deposit down. I heard
That's
at the
what
last.
I heard. I caught First Friday on the repeat.
So did I.
Last time he did it, because if I remember right, I did a live stream that Friday and I was pretty drunk by the time he came on.
Saturday.
That's right. It was Saturday. That's what it was. See, I was drunk. He didn't even come on Friday.
Well, Chris made that intro about him not being there and
did.
then running in.
Well, anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. It's been almost 2 hours. I've had a lot of fun, as I always do, doing this. And I'm not too looped, so I might try to show up for Matt's live stream if he does one tonight.
Mm-hmm.
He's been getting a little touchy, so I think I think he's got hemorrhoids, but he won't admit to it. I just don't know. That's just my thinking. I look at his face and I said, "Yeah, he's having a hard time sitting that long."
It's called stand, my son. Stand.
Yeah, right. So anyway, Steve, I got to thank you for coming in, as always.
Thank you.
And we will do this again in 2 weeks, I hope. Yeah. I am really going to try to keep to a 2-week schedule, because up until last night, I was like, shit, I got a live stream tomorrow. Damn it. But no. You know, one thing I might do, I might make it a regular issue now that, because Chuck put something down there. I might start doing opening intros with other people's videos. You know, I was only taking 10 to maybe 15 seconds of their some of the best shots, but it's very inspiring to see other people's stuff. Yeah. That, in fact, is what makes me want to go out and fly a drone most of the time. You know, when I look at drone video on YouTube, it's like, okay, what am I doing here? I got to get outside.
I know.
Speaking of which, Steve, have you been using or enjoying your EvoLite Plus?
Yes, I have. In fact, I'm going to be taking it down tomorrow. I'm going to be flying the harbor with it tomorrow. Excuse me, to use as just for some documentation purposes, because the new marina that they're putting in, drawings and actual marina, it's two different things here. And there's a thing called the California Coastal Commission that says you submit your drawings and that's what you're going to build. Well, what they're putting in, guess what? It's a little bit bigger. And what it is it's narrowing the channel. So they've got the docks, and then they're going to have side ties with, say, anywhere from a 60 to an 80-foot boat. So you're going to talk about, I'm moving a boat now out 20, 25 feet more for the beam. So it's narrowing the channel down through the middle of the channelway. So you got side ties here and here. You're taking in another 20 feet. The main channel is going to be narrowed even more.
Now, I've gotten to where, when it comes to, you know, my drones have classifications now. My Autel Evo is, I call it my night bird, because it only gets put up at sundown and afterwards. The Air 2S is my workhorse, still going on almost 2 years now. To be 2 years this April. That thing is still earning its pay. The Mavic Air 2, where is it at? It rides this thing all the time whenever I put it up. The Insta360 Sphere.
Right.
Because if I'm going to lose a drone, I'm going to lose a Mavic Air 2.
I've got the Air 2, not the S. And that's a great drone. It still is. It's a phenomenal drone.
And I've gotten into the DJI FPV. I'm using that now once a week. I've been forcing myself to practice with it, and I put it in acro once and almost killed it. So I won't do that again, because I've been on the simulator now. So hopefully I'll get better at that. But even with over an hour in the simulator, the best I can manage is 10 seconds in the air without crashing in acro. So it's just work to be done.
Tim, I don't know if that Air 3 will be coming out. Not when they have the 3.
I was going to say they've got
3 and the Mini 3 Pro.
Yeah, they've got so many options, and that's another thing too. When it comes to the mini series with remote ID, I'm sorry, fellas, that's going to be what you're going to have to fly. Unless you want to be 107 licensed, it's just going to be what it is.
Well, in fact, one of the engineers is on a project that's being built next to my project over in Laguna Niguel. He just got his 107, and the company bought him the Mini 3 Pro with the RC controller to do it, so they can taking constant construction updates. They're flying the project over there, and it's nice because it's so small, easy to carry, and he'll, like the other day. It had just finished raining. He had his Carhartt bibs on. He just slid the drone in the one pocket, controller in the other, and just took off and went walking with it.
I like these two comments. She said, 10. You give it 10? Man, you're doing good. and by the way, Chuck, yeah, the Avata is in my sights. I'm just waiting for the stars to align and the government to give me my damn money.
Refunds are going to be real slow this year.
Yeah, I'm going to get the Avata. I really wanted the full package, but I'm going to go the cheap route. I'm just going to get the Avata, use my existing 2 goggles, and deal with it. But I do need the extra battery, so I'll probably get the Fly More thing. So it's still under 1,000.
Chris, he posted it in his private page.
Yeah. Anyway, guys. Oh yeah. Now that I've got the most viewers, I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream. That's the way it always works. Every now and again I'll glance up. Oh, we got 17. Oh, we got 16. Down to 9. Oh, look at that. We're up to 19. Now we got 23. I'm gonna go ahead and end this thing now. It's getting sick.
Too many people coming in.
Right. Anyway, I'm gonna go down the list here of who we got. We got Coaction, Chuck, Jim's Droning, Akira Show, Tim Jackson, Sunrise Water Media, Chris, and anybody else. Who else is here? That's about it for now. A bunch of other people who are just kind of milling around, not really saying nothing.
Yeah,
to go from 16 to 22, I know there's people out there going, "Who's this dude?" So I'm gonna go ahead and end this now. And like I said, Steve, I thank you again for coming in.
Thank you,
everybody, for watching and giving me the time. And
my pleasure.
Hey, Lori, hi. And hopefully we will see you again in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Y'all have a good weekend.
Hi, Lori. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend and happy St. Patty's Day.
St. Patty's Day to you. Yeah, drink a lot. Drink a lot, get drunk. Please don't get arrested.
Don't drive and don't fly.